everybody, and welcome to the Austin excavation. Today I'll be showing you how to make hydroponics, a little hydroponic system. So for those of you in quarantine, or maybe if you're watching this after quarantine and you want to learn how to grow plants in hydroponics so you can grow them inside, this is how to do it. So it's not that hard. There's just a few things that you'll need. You'll need an old container of some sort because we're being sustainable. So I have this container from tea. You'll need a coffee filter, and you'll need an X-Acto knife or just like a knife, and then some tape. And then later on, of course, you'll need like soil and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you the basic concept of what we'll be doing. You can take the lid off. You won't need it. Find a different use for it. So basically the concept of how this is going to work, we're going to cut the bottom off, and then we're going to put this coffee filter inside of it, inside of the container, so that it's sort of like this. So then you could put your dirt in there, and then we'll cut up to just where the water will be able to just touch the bottom of the coffee filter. So actually the first thing I'm going to do is take out an X-Acto knife, and just so that you can see better, I'm going to take off this label, and then I'm going to show you where to go from there. Be safe when you're using X-Acto knives. They can be dangerous. So I have mine right here. You can see it. And I'm just going to take the label off to show you where the better area to cut will be. There we go. Yeah, so this, as you can see, is the empty container now. Next thing we want to do is put the coffee filter into it so that we know where we'll need to cut for the water to be able to reach the coffee filter. Because how this works is, pretend that this is already cut off. So the coffee filter will be in there, and then we'll cut about right there. You can see right there, so that the water barely touches it. And then it'll work as a wick system. So the coffee filter will work as a wick system. The water will touch it, and then it'll like slowly go up. So that then the water gets to the soil gets moist, and the seeds that are in the soil will begin to grow. So this is where you'll need the tape. Just gonna put the X-Acto knife to the side. Put the coffee filter in so that you have room to tape it down on the sides, but also so that your plant has room to grow. So, and then fold it down on the sides so that you'll have an area to tape it. So about this, as you can see, like that. And then whatever tape you have, I don't really have duct tape right now because I have limited resources, so I found this painter's tape, so I'll just use it. It'll still do the job. I might have to tape it down a few times. We'll see how it goes. So just tape each of the sides with the tape. So I'll start by doing this side right here. See, so it looks like that. Just tape down. It's pretty simple. There we go, the next side, and then I'll do the other two real quick. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. I know you're probably thinking, why did she tape over where the label was? We can't see anyways. You could kind of see at the bottom. I mean, I'll cut it off anyways. I'll show you where to cut it off. When you're done taping though, kind of like put your hand in there, because just make sure that none of the tape falls off, because you don't want it to fall off when you put the dirt in, because remember, it kind of weighs a little. So the next part we're gonna do, I'm gonna just show you how to cut, like where to cut with the X-Acto knife. It doesn't need to be even, but the whole point of it is so see how the filter only goes to right there? You're gonna want to cut like a few centimeters under it. Centimeters, I don't know. But you're gonna want to cut a little bit under it just so that this is able to stand up on its own without the coffee filter being totally soaked in water. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Back with the X-Acto knife, don't cut yourself. Alright, so now you can see that I cut this part off, which actually now that I'm looking at it, you could probably make another small hydroponic system out of this by cutting the very bottom off, but that doesn't relate to what we're doing. But use all your resources. Be sustainable. Yeah, but you can see here, there's still plastic over it, so this will, as you can see, the coffee filter barely touches my hand. I'm not sure how well you see that, but it barely touches my hand. But that's the whole point. The cut doesn't have to be even, it doesn't really matter, because how the rest of this is going to work, we're going to have something, we could look at this up, for example, because it fits in there. Actually, no, it's not clear, but this is really hard. But, so you fill up a little bit of water just so that it will barely, like into a container, and then you put this with the soil and everything into the container, and then, yeah, it'll hydroponics, yay! But I'm gonna get some soil and then plant some seeds. So I will be back because I'll just show you how it looks by then, okay? And I'm back. So now I have some soil in here. I mean, honestly, I just got it from the garden. But you can see it's about roughly 3/4 of the way. That's just normal garden soil. I also have some seed starting mix. I'm not trying to, this is not an ad, but I'm just showing you what I have. And then I also brought a container with water, so you can see just about how much that is. And the water should be lukewarm water, but check on the plants what kind of water you need. So now that I have soil about 3/4 of the way in here, I'm just gonna put the potting mix or whatever it's called 1/4 of the way, and then I have these lettuce seeds that my mom gave me, so I'm gonna put them in there, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I have my seeds planted, and now I'll just show you. Now is a really easy step. Maybe you could see better back here. This container isn't the cleanest. It has some weird stuff on the side. But so you just put it in there, and then now you can see it's dripping a little bit. I'm not sure how well you can see, but that's good because that means it's barely touching the bottom. The water is barely touching the bottom, as you can see there. It's not really, I picked a clear container so you can see easier, but I guess this clear container isn't the best. But yeah, so now it's just simple. Just leave it in the sun or under a fluorescent light because it just needs a lot of light, and eventually it'll grow, I hope. If it doesn't grow, then maybe you did something wrong. I'm just kidding. It should grow, and I hope that you learn how to make a hydroponic system because it's really a good thing to do, and you can grow your plants indoors like this, and it's a really good system because you can be really sustainable with it. And yeah, that's all I have for today. This is brought to you by the Austin ISCC class. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. And until next time.